Really brought us closer together.
I mean, I didn't know I had to hit a tree to, like, see some amazing things from you, but if I had to hit a tree to do that, happy I did. And I'm happy that I saw, like, parts of you that I have not seen before. I think this gave us the best chance to, like, expedite a couple gold stars, you know?
Yeah, I think there was a big disconnect for weeks about what a friendship is versus a relationship. And I think that was getting blurred and expectations were very high after the accident.
I'm pretty sure, like, we didn't really establish, like, this for sure as a friendship. So, like, maybe you knew that in your head, but, like, it wasn't really, like, communicated.
I think my actions were showing in those settings, which I thought were enough, but clearly they weren't. So I should have, I guess, told you sooner.
Because as you said, you hate mind readers, and that's why you broke up with your ex, and I'm not a mind reader, especially in this situation. I feel like I made it so clear to you, like, all I wanted was direct answers from the beginning. So yeah, I think that is a big deal. I think that was very important for you to have to say to me whether you thought that or not, especially for being on a show and being married. Like, it's just kind of like a big deal.
But you have to understand that I was still trying.
Like, you believe that. That's your belief. Like, I don't feel that way, but it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. But I just feel like after the honeymoon, a guard or something went up, and it just never felt like it was, like, a fair chance.
Are we talking about what we've learned from it? Or are we just, you're gonna
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just
tell me all
giving
the
another
things
example.
that you're just...
Not giving, like, I'm just saying, like,
all my efforts just not being acknowledged. That's what we're gonna continue to do, right?
like most girls probably would not have, like, stuck it out.
Oh, okay.
No, I just want you to know that. And, like, I'm glad we went through it together, but, like, I didn't want that for us both because we got to the point that we're at. And I wouldn't have stayed if I didn't think there was more growth to be had. Again, didn't think it would take hitting a tree. Why?
And just... Was it you staying or convincing me to stay?
Oh, it was definitely me convincing you to stay because I didn't think it was fair to me to, like, have you decide. If anyone should have decided to be out, it should have been me. But I didn't think it was fair for you to take away my experience from me.
Which is why I stayed, because I put you before me. I said...
And I know that.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
And what if you didn't? We would have never been able to even be friends.
If I didn't listen to you, you wouldn't have almost died. So...
What?
We would have been out, and you wouldn't have almost died.
Are you serious right now?
To have it come to that point where I almost lost you, yeah. Do I think back and say, was it worth it? It was not worth almost losing you to stick this out.
You can't even put those two things together because we wouldn't be here if the accident didn't happen.
Like, that's, like, it...
Yeah. I don't think it's worth going round and round, but I've told you I don't think you gave it your all. I think I've given it my all, but would love you to speak to that a little more, even though I know you don't agree, and that's fine. I don't know if you have any more to say to elaborate on that.
In the real world, you go on one date, maybe a week, over the course of a couple months, and then you figure out if you want to be with that person. We were 24/7, and I felt very comfortable that I saw every side of you that I could. And I saw a few red flags here and there.
Like, what were my red flags? I don't mean to interrupt you.
The romantic chemistry aspect wasn't there. The negativity for me is like a huge thing. That's one of my deal breakers was a positive person.
I'm the most positive person there is.
Okay. saying, I hate this, I hate that, I hate this. And then you took the opportunity when it was Michael and Chloe's vows that were beautiful, and you just destroyed them.
I thought the vows were a little like vanilla, to be honest. Like nothing stuck out.
I think Emily has something to say.
No, I just thought Michael was gonna like say something.
He's like, this
he
is my
did say
second
a little
round
bit
about.
more. I didn't destroy them.
They were basic, they were vanilla, they were this. I couldn't believe you could make that into something that was negative. It's too much for me.
I am the most positive person. If you can't see that about me, that is literally, that is the disconnect. And I mean,
So
like,
that's why
holy,
I
like,
just
this
don't-
is, like, this is just groundbreaking.
So before the accident, you don't think you were extremely negative all the time?
I really don't think that.
Saying hate all the time, is it
I'm-
negative?
What do you mean? There is no negativity.
Okay.
Second. He thinks that I'm negative. He did.
No, I was shocked.
Anyone could ever say it.
I would just never describe you that way.
It's just not true. And that's a red flag. And like, I'm supposed to know that. He doesn't know who I am then. Like, it's just, you wonder why I'm like so up in the head. I just can't believe he said that. I really can't. Like, I just believe. And now I want to know all the red flags now, because now I know I had absolutely no shot. Have another glass of Malbec, please. Yeah, so I would, at this rate now, really like to know the other red flags.
I don't. I've already.
Honestly. It might have been like the most hurtful thing that anyone's ever said to me. Because it means like you don't know who I am as a person. Do you get where I'm coming from?
It's very hard for me to say those types of things because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
This is hurting my feelings.
Like this accident, I was like, this is a new side of her that I've never seen before.
Which I already told you is like this, I'm the same person. I've seen a new side of you that's maybe made me more positive because now I'm not like in my head all the time and like you're not making me angry. So maybe that's what you saw, but like I have been the same positive person and that is what people would describe me as like a key quality and characteristic. And that was like maybe the most hurtful thing ever. Like I don't deserve a lot, and like that just was like.
So
oh,
Emily,
great.
I'm just trying to be honest.
Keep being honest.
Like you're asking me to be honest with you.
I am.
And I'm telling you how it makes me feel when you say those words all the time.
Because it means you don't know who I am as a person.
Okay.
And it means you never gave me the chance to fix something that clearly bothers you so much, even
Well,
as a
I've
friend.
told you.
How the supposed to know that that means as much as it does to you? And that's how you reacted?
Maybe we talk about some positives.
You had every opportunity in this dinner to instead of sit silent and talk positive, and here we are.
I don't think we're
It
making.
didn't have to be this way.
I don't think we're making any progress.
I mean, yeah, no. I feel the most hurt I did this whole time. So
Yeah, I just think that, you know, we have been through a lot. I think that I've tried to protect you as best as I can, but I think, you know, there are things that are worth telling you that you need to know. I just don't feel like Brennan is giving you the same respect that you give to him. And I didn't want to tell you this. At the same time, I had to be realistic about what's going on and let you know what's happening. I've heard through the grapevine that he had wanted to go on a double date with Cameron and that he is going on dates Like, he's not a good guy. And I'm just upset that you even thought for a second that he had your best interest, because he doesn't.
Like, I appreciate it so much, and it confirms a lot of what I've been feeling. And I've tried to, like, look past and, like, make him see the best in him and, like, believe this wasn't the case. But it's like, I truly believe from the way he talks to me, he just doesn't respect me. This just shows that. It's, like, very, very sad.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And you deserve to be loved and to be heard and to be seen and not diminished and not dismissed to make himself feel better. And that's not something you deserve.
Like, I don't think there was, honestly, a better time than now. I would have been devastated to know this after, knowing that I had no control.
He's just
of
not
how
ready for a commitment.
It just sucks, but it also validates where I am now and, like, where I've been. Like,
I'm just sad that he's not realizing how amazing you are.
this isn't how it had to end, and it's gonna end the way that it needs to end.
Period.
Hey.
Hey. So,
So basically, I found out that you tried to go on a double date with Cam. And so the fact that, like, I feel like you've cared so much about yourself and reputation in this and did something that's stupid.